What's up, y'all? My name is Damien. Welcome to my channel and thank you for tuning in. This is the first episode of the conversation series that I'm starting. I'm not here to tell anyone how to live their life. I'm simply here to share my perspective on life's nuances, my values, and principles, but also have fun in the midst of doing so. On my channel as a whole, you'll see some content featuring me cooking, some gameplay footage from my favorite game titles, as well as hair and skincare based content. I'm also an artist. I write songs, I make beats, and I sing. So at some point I will be releasing music, so stay tuned. As a student of Life University, I'm always open to learning from anything and anyone, so always feel free to share your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. So you can DM me, whatever. I'm always open for conversation. This isn't just for me. This is for us to have a space to talk. I love engaging in conversation. I'm known for phone conversations that last for hours and sending lengthy voice notes. My friends be like, I need to go grab me some popcorn or a snack or find me something to do when I see voice notes from Damien, because I know I'm gonna be here for a while. So you know, I could talk, you know what I mean, especially, you know, depending on what the topic is, you know what I mean. We're gonna be having some conversations. We're gonna be on the phone for a while. So yeah, like the voice notes be like 10 minutes plus sometimes, not all the time, but again, depending on the topic of discussion, it can get there, you know what I mean, depending on what I have to say. You know, there are far less times where when I don't have anything to say, or if I keep my answer to a minimum, that's when you know something's up or something's off, you know. So yeah, like to start this channel, it really was a no-brainer. And the thought came to me like, you know what, I'd be making these long, lengthy voice notes and snaps, eat Snapchat too, like. So I was like, you know what, I might as well take, like, you know, because I like to talk, I might as well take my thoughts and put them into this format. At least now it could be of some benefit to the world, and I can connect with more people, you know, and then, you know, see who's like-minded, who's thinks different, and who can open my mind, or we might open each other's mind, you know, just bouncing ideas and perspective. That's all, really all, you know. It could be of some benefit to others, and maybe somebody can reach out and help me too with the information or what it is that I'm sharing in the videos, you know. So today's topic is, how have you been? It's such a loaded question, a loaded, layered question. Sometimes it, depending on what you got going on in your life, it might not be a loaded or layered question. Sometimes it really just be like, I'm all right. Some people's lives don't consist of a whole lot of, you know, a lot of unfortunate things going on, drama, chaos, dysfunction, and things like that, or just like a list of tasks, because just because there's a lot going on doesn't mean it's always associated with like drama, right? It could be just, you just have a lot of things to do, you know. So that could also mean a lot going on, you know, and that could be a good thing, because, you know, if it's not causing you in trouble, but you have a lot to do, more than likely those things are going towards building your life and whatever. But whenever someone asks me, I tend to pause and have a flashback of all the things that occurred from the last time we spoke all the way up to now. Whenever someone's like, oh, so how have you been? I'm like, literally like freeze up and pause, so almost like Raven and That's So Raven, when she has like she can see the future. It's almost like that. And then I'm like, my answer also can depend. My answer can vary depending on who it is that's asking, or if I even feel like talking about it for real. Because sometimes it doesn't even make sense to disclose, you know what I mean? I'll be torn between going into detail or giving a generic answer of I'm okay and yourself, because the thing is with that answer too, not everyone cares for real, and it could just be a question for small talk. So I try not to waste my breath a lot of times. Like I've dealt with various people who literally they ask that because it's such a reflex. It's like just something that you say, something that you do, because that's what we say as humans sometimes. How are you? You don't really care for the answer. You just wait for they would just wait for the person to stop talking and then move on to the next thing. They may pick something out of what you reply with about how have you been and ask about that, or they might not, But yeah, so sometimes if it's been stressful and I've already dealt with the range of emotions that comes with all that has happened, I'd rather not bring it up. Because sometimes if it's still something that bothers me, it can invoke emotion, and I don't feel like going through that range of emotions again, or just being angry or upset or sad. I don't want to deal with those emotions again. And I have anxiety and I'm depression and I be stressed. I just rather not deal. So if I'm in a moment of contentment, whereas like I'm somewhat like got myself all right, then I'll just keep the answer short and sweet, like I'm good, or there's been a lot and I just rather not talk about it. So, and there are times too where people ask like, how are you doing? But they don't even be paying attention. Like what's the point you asking me? Like, nah, don't. And that annoys me. That annoys me because one is rude, and two, I give my undivided attention to people, and because I think that's important. I know every interaction is not gonna require it. Like if I run into somebody in public and they're like, "How have you been?" Obviously, that's not the time to unpack and whatever. But when we find ourselves in a space to where we are doing that, where this time to talk is for that, and you're not listening, you acting like you listening, I don't like that. That's not cool. Like, why are you asking me that? Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that because you don't really care, you know what I'm saying? Again, I give my undivided attention, when I ask somebody how have they been, because I genuinely want to know. I'm all hands on deck. I'm into you. I'm here. I'm listening. I think we as people, human beings desire community and talking. Sure, there's solitude and people who like to be alone sometimes, but at the end of the day, and there are people who thrive in crowds, and I think there's a range in between introverts, extroverts, right? But at the end of the day, I think we all desire community at the end of the day. And it's important to show that you care and that you're paying attention. You feel me? Like, and when you're doing those things, that can come off as you don't care, as rude, you're self-centered, and no bueno. No bueno. Nobody wants to be around that. Like, that's not the type of... Those aren't the traits that of a person that can be fulfilling for others. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... No, it's no good. Like, you're not... And you're also not of any use to yourself being that way either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this was... For me, again, it's... I give my undivided attention because it's important for people to feel, there we go, bringing it back around, community. Everybody, it's important for everyone to have community and to feel wanted, to feel like someone cares, to feel heard, to feel acknowledged, to feel seen, felt, And in those moments where you're actively listening, whether you're in person talking or if you're on a phone, or if you on Snap, or where people are paying attention to those details, that just gives confirmation and lets you know that, okay, they heard me, they're listening. And when it also feels good, I know for me, it feels good when I know somebody's paying attention and into what I'm saying, or they're relaying what it is that was said to me. Whatever it is, when they respond, shows me that they were paying attention. I love that. Chef's kiss. I love it. So, but yeah. Again, when I speak, I give my undivided attention. So, and I expect the same thing. So when people don't do it, it's not cool. And I don't like that. So yeah. Shout out to those who actively listen. Shout out to those who care. Shout out to the ones that ask questions about what type of feedback a person is seeking as well. This isn't necessarily about feedback, but it's more so just about how you've been. But a lot of times, advice and feedback and constructive criticism and empathy and those things end up following up with the how have you been question during that conversation. Generally, that accompanies that, advice. Again, so shout out to those that care and the ones that ask questions about what type of feedback a person is seeking. Because sometimes we're not always looking for advice. Sometimes we just want people to listen. Sometimes sometimes we're not looking for advice or for anybody to say anything. Or perspective. We're not necessarily looking for advice, but we might like your opinion or how do you see this? How do you perceive this situation or this, whatever's happening? Jesus. Sometimes people just want to hear, sometimes people just want to be heard, They don't want somebody to speak. I think I already said that, but it's okay. Sometimes advice and opinions are wanted, sometimes they aren't. It's okay to ask. Yeah, so it's okay to ask. Like say for example, if you come to me or if I come to you and ask you, hey, how have you been? I just been going through a lot, and you go in and you're telling me you're going in and I'm just listening. And then after you've said what you said, if you get quiet, I might perceive that as you're waiting for me to respond, or you might ask, hey, so what do you think about this? How do you, I'm going to ask you, well, do you, what do you want right now? Do you want my advice? Do you want my perspective? Do you want me to give you a constructive criticism about this? What is it that you're seeking? As a response from me, and then go from there with it. It's okay to do that. 2, I think it's also important to, prior to, like, if somebody asks how have you been, I think it's still important to, like, let's say you ask me how am I doing, I'll still be like, hey, I've got a lot going on. Are you got time? And there's some things that I'm about to share that might be a little, do you have space, emotional and mental space for that right now? We have to do that too. It's important to do that because sometimes we don't have it in us to take in or to hear certain things that's going on with other people, or same way that it might be a lot to share it. It might be a lot to take it in, to feel and hear, from what other people's got going on, because these are emotions when people are talking, these are emotions and feelings. So yeah, again, it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask before, and then it's okay to ask afterwards. It's all about a transaction and being respectful and caring, and so now, with that being said, I've been going through it for real, trying my best to keep the scale balanced, but it's been rough. We're about to be in April. In a better position than I was in last week, last month, 2 months ago. But it's been rough, dealing with unemployment, financial issues, my mom's health. mostly a lot of what I've been going through, what we've been going through, has been based around my mom's health. I don't want to get too deep into it all, but she's in the hospital. She's not in the hospital, nor she had to get an operation. She's doing well now. Just been very hands-on with helping her with what she needs, and just so just all of that, and then even my own health too, around everything that I just named. It's had me mentally and emotionally distraught. Like, it's been a lot. It has been a lot. It's been a lot. That is an understatement. I guess you can say I almost had multiple anxiety attacks, maybe a panic attack. They're not one and the same. They're two different things that I was looking them up, and those times wasn't good. I'm on blood pressure medication now, which is good. I've always had high blood pressure, but I think I was in the realm of hypertension. Like maybe end of February, I was feeling, I felt different. My head felt, I'd never felt like this in my life. I was feeling like just this tightness. Was it tight? No. What was I feeling? It was this throbbing. It wasn't intense, but I felt it present. And I was just like, this is different. And I could also feel my body would just felt different. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I also checked my blood pressure. It was very, very high, higher than it's ever been. And I was just like, okay, no, this is different. I think I really need to go to the emergency room. So fast forward, I'm on blood pressure medication. It's been a journey getting here. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but that's how I've been doing. Every day is a different day. I'm thankful for the blood pressure medication and the changes that I'm making. I'm thankful that my mom's okay. I'm thankful that, the help that we've gotten and the support and things from friends and family, loved ones, you know what I mean, that have really been doing the best to what they can, and yeah, that's how I've been. It's been something, but I'm happy about being on the blood pressure medication though, because it's brought my blood pressure down a lot, that coupled with me being more active, especially just due to the work that I'm doing. It requires me to, I drive trucks, but I'm also it's touch freight. There's a difference between drop and hook and touch freight. Real quick, touch freight is when whatever we're bringing, we have to get in the back of the trailer and actually take it off or put stuff on, right? Where drop and hook is where we don't touch anything in the back. You literally pick up the trailer, bring it to where it needs to go, drop it. It's literally in the phrase, drop and hook. So I'm doing touch freight, so some of that stuff, it requires you to move around, lift, pick up things, and I love that because, yeah, trucking, it gets boring just sitting there, and then your legs, you get cramped up a little bit. It's good that there's some physical exercise aspect of the job too, so I love that. So that accompanied with the pills, and then me, drinking more water and just controlling more with what I'm having more, being more intentional with the health and putting healthier things in my body, getting there. So, and then I also asked to get prescribed some anxiety and depression medications too. So I got those, and I've tried the depression medication twice. It's not bad, but I have been assessing the way it makes me feel. It really puts me in this zoned space, as well as the anxiety medication too. The anxiety medication, I'm not really supposed to be taking it regularly. That is for when I have those intense moments of when I feel like I'm about to have like a panic attack or an anxiety attack. When my breathing increases and I'm out of like, I feel nauseous and like dizzy, like that's when I'm supposed to take those. So I've tried those a couple times and they're okay too. They're okay too. I don't make it a habit to take them daily because I have to be alert. Driving a truck, you know. But yeah, I'm glad I have those to help me, you know, in the moments that I may feel down. So when, you know, for the most part, I'm doing holistically what I'm capable of doing, in terms of just eating good, drinking good, exercising, and trying to be in control of my thoughts as much as possible, and be in pouring in entertainment wise, like music and videos, whatever it is that I consume, do my best to and I'm not even gonna say do my best to, because most of the content I consume is educational, entertainment, education. This is very positive anyways, you know what I mean? So yeah, like my videos though, I whenever I find myself going into those spaces mentally, I try my best to put on content that's going to keep me distracted, pretty much, you know, whether it's funny or insightful, educational, whatever, something to just take my mind off of where it decided to go. So yeah, all those things are working together to keep me going, you know. Let me see. I've also been actively staying organized with my planner that I have. It's a Notion app. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. If you don't use it, I use it. I mean, you know, you have your notes in your phone. I use the notes in my phone, but it's the format of the Notes app on the Galaxy phones. It's kind of boring compared to Notion. Notion is a little fun. It makes me feel like I run a business, or I work in some corporate office, or I'm on the go, you know, like I'm in school. It really makes me feel professional, and yeah, so that's why I've been keeping up with that the most, and staying organized and making this work out and help tremendously. So that's what's been keeping me on track too. Hey, that's how I got here to make this video, you know, and started my channel, which I'm super excited about. And it also helps me, it keeps me motivated to complete tasks that I want to get done too, you know. So I'm like, instead of trying to keep a list up here, I'm just like, you know what, all I have to do is just go back to my list, like boom, oh yeah, that. And if I think of something new, I just add it to the list. And then when I go back to the list, if I need to reorganize and shift things around to make something more of a priority than another, then I have it right there, you know. So that's been very helpful. Again, the Notion app, it's available on both operating systems, iOS, iPhone, and Android, Samsung, whatever Android phone brand that you use, but it's in the marketplace, in the app marketplace. You guys can go check it out. So again, starting my channel was one of those things that I had on the list, and yes, I've had my whole like plan for it since last year. Like I made it last year, and I'm finally like here doing this, and you know, I'm just really excited about joining the YouTube community. I've been using YouTube for entertainment for years, since I was in my 7th grade, 6th grade, like back when YouTube was just literally like it's just a platform for like funny videos. That's what I remember it being, funny videos, and then the surgence of music like Soulja Boy and the dances, and again, just funny videos, music, and then to see the way it's transformed, it's become a household name, like billion-dollar company. People are able to thrive and live off of their incomes and careers off of the platforms that they've built on YouTube. It's amazing. So I'm sorry, going back to what I was saying before, I've been using YouTube as entertainment for years, but never did I envision myself like being a YouTuber and starting my own platform. And here I am now. Like, YouTube has done this thing. Shout out to YouTube, because here, you know what, let's take it back. All right, let me see. I would say from middle school to high school, right? YouTube been around, and I only used it to watch music videos. I'm like, I don't use YouTube for those type of things, like the way I've seen other people use it. I'm like, nah, I'm just still watching my movies on this platform and utilizing other platforms for my entertainment. I'm like, YouTube, I'm like, why do people sit on YouTube for a long time? You know what I mean? Like, granted, again, I like music videos and interviews and things like that, but again, when I was younger, it was music videos and funny videos. And then around high school and early college years, perspective was the same thing. But then I would say early 20s, mid 20s, I started to get into watching content on YouTube. And then I started remembering my perspective about me saying, I don't use YouTube like that. And then I found myself using YouTube like that. And I'm like, yo, YouTube, just watching the effect that's having on me and the rest of the world. It's like, yo, YouTube is becoming that thing like everybody uses. And it's shifting the way entertainment is consumed too, you know? And also just not just the way entertainment is consumed, people being able to start careers. And then fast forward to late 20s, early 30s, contemplating, as I'm seeing other people on YouTube become vloggers. There we go. Become vloggers, and seeing the way they're able to change their lives with their YouTube platforms. I'm like, you know something? You know, and then as of recently, you know, last year, I was just like, you know something? Because there are quite a few YouTubers that I really, really admire. Shout out to De'Ara Taylor. I really, really admire that woman. She is off the chain with it. Like, I've watched her from I caught whiff of her in 2020, I think, when I was in California, working, is when I first started watching her channel. And then just how so business oriented it's entertainment, and she's vlogging and detailing her life and what she does as a business person, right? It's just a regular person, but also as a business person, as a person who loves food, fashion, funny things, and just her everyday life. I see the business acumen in everything she does. You know what I mean? Even if this is for fun, and just like, yo, that is admirable. Again, so shout out to her. I'll say, like, she's very inspirational to me, and she is one of the reasons why I definitely decided to start my YouTube platform again. Shout out to De'Ara Taylor. Y'all go check her out. She don't even need for me to like but no, again, she's one of my inspirations. I'll just leave it at that. She's one of my inspirations. So again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in to my channel. You know what I mean? Let me see. Going back to how have you been starting my own platform and becoming a vlogger and a YouTuber. Again, I was inspired by her as some others. I made a list too. I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna shout them out some other videos soon. But yes, seeing how YouTube has changed their lives and what it can do with when you put your creativity and hard work behind it, I was just like, you know what? I think YouTube would be great for me. I think YouTube would be a great tool, great partner, essential to my career in life and the things that I want to do. So going back to the question, the how have you been? We'll always feel various emotions throughout the day. I hope that you are staying as balanced as possible. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is you feel, then release and move along. If you're not feeling the best, you know? And if you are feeling good, keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you. And if you're not feeling good, I'm also proud of you too, because you're still here. You know, it's hard out here. Whether you're doing good or bad, you're still here. It's hard out here. It's hard out here. So I asked this question, how have you been? Drop down in the comments. Make sure you share your thoughts, your ideas, experiences, and recommendations. This is a safe space. Again, my name is Damien. This is Damien Michael. I appreciate you clicking on the video. I appreciate you listening and taking the time out of your day. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Till the next video, y'all. Appreciate you. Peace.